Well, it's going to be another Plan B day because this is the creek I was planning on fishing. But you can see even the ducks are having problems with how swift the water is. You know, we've just had so much rain that it's a lot. Here you go. There's a few more. They're whitewater rafting today, and so if you look, just see right down there. You know, I'm not going wading in a stream that's normally nice and calm when it looks like that. So we're gonna go with Plan B. Probably do some more trout fishing today. So since I knew this was a possibility, I went yesterday and restocked on rooster tails. So get those all set up. I brought my trout stuff with me as well. Like I said, even though I'd planned on doing smallmouth fishing today. So I'm gonna get geared up, switch out the lure, and see if we can't go catch a few up here at the spillway. And there's also some bass up there, so I may, you know, switch over to bass at some point too. Okay, so we're down at the spillway and gonna start off. The guy was just down here, said he just got here, but there's another spot he wanted to fish. So he left me the spot, but he said he did catch one small bass. So this is one of my favorite bass spots real close to the house. So we're gonna start for trout and we'll probably switch over to bass at some point. I'm actually curious how the audio is here. Last year I think the video I edited it this year, but last year I was here in the summer and it was something else how loud the falls are, and they're running pretty good today. I call them falls, the spillway. This is a very popular fishing spot. And I'm starting off with a popular lure. It's a black panther martin with a gold blade. I'm sort of leaning. Oh, that was a nice fish. It looked like a nice smallmouth, which has me itching to maybe just go right to smallmouth fishing. Because everybody else fishing here, they're fishing for trout right now. And that's just a fact of this time of year. It's actually part of what I'd planned to do was maybe wade out, at least out to where those rocks are, where all the bobbers are snagged. You know what? That's what I'm going to go straight for bass. Okay, so I'm just going straight for the big dog, the Nikko Leech. Let's see what we can do here. Now, one thing, I'm probably going to have to switch over this line as I get more into bass season. At least in the early morning light. This pink does not show up. There we go. Oh, look at that, a crappie. Are you kidding me? You know, I was planning on going out to do a little bit of crappie fishing because I don't remember ever really catching a crappie before. So there's my first one. Didn't expect to catch it on the Largemouth. There you go, buddy. Swim the other way. There you go. It's funny, I felt a little hit and I'm like, well, let's just sit there and wait. The thing about crappies, there's usually a group of them, so I'll have to see what I have. It might be worth at some point trying this little hole for crappie. I'm actually looking forward to catching a few bass on this rod because this is the Major Craft Fine-Tailed Glass. And it's like 4'10", I think. So it's a short rod compared to what I've been using the last 30 years. But so far I love the way it feels. It has pretty good control, especially with just a slightly heavier bait. And like you can feel every strike so well. Okay, so switch over to the leech and chartreuse here. Sort of looking for that bait that might almost seem irresistible to him. Oh. If that was a strike, the fish basically just inhaled it. It was like one of those soft strikes. See if I can rig this semi-weedless. It's this thing with the Z-Man jig heads. Once you get it on there, they don't like to give up the plastic much at all. But I was just thinking, there's a lot of rocks, there's a lot of wood and stuff, and because of the, the rain, the lake up above is pretty full, and there was a piece of wood that just came sliding down the spillway. There's something up there tapping it. I don't know if it's a little bluegill or small rock bass maybe. Ooh, man, I had something. Definitely had something. I didn't feel him, so I didn't get much of a hook set on it. Didn't feel big. I don't know, maybe it was another one of the crappie. Okay, let's go up and see if we can get this one loose. Not, I was just thinking about changing back to the Hellgrammite anyway. So instead of changing to the Hellgrammite, let's change colors. So I have that magma color that I haven't used yet. I feel like this magma color is just going to be a great spring color. Just because I haven't been doing a ton of bass fishing yet in the creeks. And I don't know how aggressive the smallies and the rock bass are yet. There's actually largemouth in this section too. Oh, same thing. Okay, well that's the story of my fishing life. There we go. That feels like that might be a bass. That might be a bass. Where are we at here? Oh, it's a trout actually. It's a trout on the leech. Trout on the leech, foul hooked. That's part of why he was fighting so bad. Okay, get back in there, buddy. Get back in there. Well, definitely not the way I expected to catch a trout today. Well, that was 2 casts in a row. We caught some fish, so or like hooked them. Even though that one was foul hooked, it felt like a strike, and so I think he hit it and tried to turn, and I got him. So maybe we're onto something with the magma color of the leech. Oh, there was something there. Again, I don't know if it was something smaller. Oh, dadgummit. Felt like I got a decent hook set on that one too. So this guy's going where I was planning on going later. So at least he's giving me the path. But I think he's going to that island to fish that other pocket that you can't get to. I will admit that this guy pissed me off a little bit. There we go. Little largemouth. Not a bad little fish. I think that was the first cast on the magma Largemouth. You know, I really shouldn't let stuff like that bother me, but you know, this is why I don't do good with general PA trout fishing. It's like, granted, he's not standing in the spot I'm fishing, he's fishing the spot that I'm fishing. I just need to take some deep breaths. You can probably see my pole's shaking a little bit more than it was before. Just like that, like, you didn't even come down and say hi. You know, when I came down here, there was another guy fishing the other side of this pool. And so I even said, I'm like, hey, you mind if I fish up there? He's like, oh no. He's like, I'm getting ready to head downstream anyway. I'm like, okay. But this guy didn't acknowledge me. He didn't say hi. He just waded out into the water in front of me. And again, I guess that's Pennsylvania trout fishing. And so if you've done it your whole life, I guess it makes, you know, it's just normal to you, I guess. And he made no attempt to figure out, where am I fishing, where am I casting. You just have to let it go and get back to my fishing. I have to get my phone out. There are ducks and a heron up on top of the spillway. Literally, this guy is like casting right in front of me. Like, what is his problem? That's funny, like, he even looks over. He knows I'm casting out there. But he even looks over to see, oh, okay, can I cast out here right now or not? Oh, there's something there. You know what? Down in this little hole right here on the corner, sometimes there's a rock bass or two. It's a lot deeper than it looks. Oh, thought I had something right there. And I think I snapped off on a rock. Okay, let's tie on a new leader. If you have any doubt that this is a highly pressured spot, in the few minutes that it took me to retie a leader, these other two guys just stepped into the water, in addition to the dude who came down and just jumped right into my spot. So now my mission becomes to outfish all of them. You know what? I'm gonna be done. I really don't love fishing with like people surrounding me. So maybe we'll go downstream, see if we can get something down there. This is a bit of a weird situation, and so I may have to keep an eye on this line, because this is the Kingdom microfly, and the last two snags have snapped off pretty much at the reel. But honestly, I was just starting to get a little pissed off with all the people squeezing in on where I was fishing. I get that that's, I guess, normal around here. From where I'm from, it's a pretty dick move. So I'm going to tie on another leader, go see if I can catch a few more bass a little bit further down this stretch. Okay, we weren't recording, but I've had a couple hits in this spot, and we got our first smallie of the year. Not a huge fish, but man, is he a nice fat chunky fish. So there we go. You know, so I probably shouldn't let people stepping in front of me and like literally walking into the water in front of where I'm fishing bother me. But you know, I'm out here to relax. So the good news is I moved down here to the other end, and after trying a few different spots, I've had a few hits here, caught a smallmouth, so let's see if we can't catch a few more to wrap up this video. Whew. Sure, I didn't find like the only smallie in this area. Nice thing about fishing this early in the year is that it's nowhere near as grown up. You know, usually this is like bushwhacking by the time summer hits. You're trying to get in here. Look at this. We could just sit here. I don't remember this log being here before, but we could just sit here and fish. So this is the spot where I saw the golden koi last year. I was never able to get it to even show interest in anything I was throwing. I was saying this black Aurora Helgramite, it seems to be working well too. I have yet to have a color of the Helgramite that doesn't catch fish. You know, I caught a few fish today, but I like to go fishing to relax. And you know, I've avoided trout season over, you know, pretty much the entire time I've lived in Pennsylvania, because I didn't like the idea of just like being elbow to elbow trying to fish with people. And you know, again, I shouldn't have let it bother me, but you know, don't be the guy who just wades in front of somebody and starts fishing right where they're fishing. Like literally wades into their spot, basically. The good news is that guy left right as I was finishing up tying on my leader before I came down to this other spot. So, you know, at least he didn't catch anything. You know, but don't be that guy, right? Just don't be that guy. Go out, find your own spot. If you're fishing with a buddy, that's fine. But honestly, that's part of why I try all these new spots is, hat got all cockeyed. So I like to find places where I can just be with nature and catch some of these amazing things we call fish, right? Whether they're rock bass or bluegill or, you know, smallmouth, trout, I honestly don't care that much. But, you know, I like to just be by myself out in nature. So yeah, that guy and honestly the other couple guys, just sort of, those guys not so much, but the one guy was casting right up to me. Basically his line was landing almost in front of me. I'm like, seriously, are you kidding? So I don't know, it's just you know, hey, it's the way it is, and it's why I try to get up in the mountains. It's why I try to get out in these more remote areas and fish bodies of water that people maybe don't think about. So that's going to wrap it up for today. I appreciate you watching, and just a reminder, don't be that guy, okay? See you next time.